Hello, gorgeous. Welcome to Elise Coaching. Have you ever wished you could turn a situation around to your advantage? Well, I'm going to show you how. I'm Lisa Bowen, the Mindset Alchemist. So, a question for you. What are the biggest challenges in your life right now, either in your personal life or your work, business? What's your biggest challenge? Relationships not going the way you want them to, kids are playing up, all sorts of things at work, cash flow, lack of supplier issues, delivery issues, staff issues, you name it, it'll be there somewhere. So, what is the common denominator within all of these, whether it's your home issues or your personal issues? Uh, get ready for this because you are the common denominator. Yeah, you. All right, just calm down. Just calm down. No, you didn't cause any of this. However, you can impact it once you take responsibility for it. Now, I want to say here there's a bit of a difference between taking responsibility and taking the blame. They are not the same. Okay, just because you take responsibility does not mean that you take the blame. Let me give you an example. If you see a car accident, okay, you're not to blame for the accident, hopefully. However, you do have a responsibility to make sure everybody's safe, to call the emergency services, or to do whatever is necessary to help everybody through the situation. Okay, so that's the difference uh, between responsibility and blame. Okay, so really hone in. Just pick this one at the moment. Just pick one. Close your eyes for a moment and notice how you feel about this situation, whether it's the kids playing up, whether it's the relationship with your partner, whether it's problems at work or with your business, whatever it is, just sit with it for a minute and notice how you feel around it. What are your thoughts around it? That is the real problem. Okay. Our thoughts affect our frequency, and that affects everything. It really does. And let's explore that for a minute. Have you ever walked into a room and felt like you could cut the air with a knife? Oh, yeah, you can't wait to get out of there quickly enough. Okay. Or you've had a week from hell, you just want to curl up on the sofa with a tub of Haagen-Dazs and a box of chocolates and a movie. Okay, you've got no energy to go and do anything. But your bestie rocks up. She's got invites to this amazing party with somebody who you really want to meet is going to be at. And all of a sudden, you've got the energy to go. So energy, we can change energy really quickly, although it doesn't always feel like it at the time. We actually can change it very quickly. So take the issue you just identified and notice the frequency or energy around it. And the two are a little bit interchangeable. There is a difference, but for this discussion, we'll keep them both the same. So let me put it like this. When something happens, when a situation happens, everybody within that situation is caught in an energy net on that frequency. Okay. So let's think about it. I call it an energy net, but let's think about it in musical terms. Okay. If I'm hitting the A key on a piano, I'm going to get the A sound or frequency. Okay. Now I can want a different sound, but as long as I keep hitting that A key, all I'm going to get is more of the same. So if I want a different sound, I have to hit a different key to get a different note. Okay. So if your current situation isn't getting you the sound, the results that you want, it's time to hit a different key. So back to our issue, the issue you identified. Just sit with it for a moment and I invite you to have a really, really good look at how or where you might be contributing to it. Okay. Purely from a frequency perspective. And I want to give you an example of how this works. Okay. I was staying with friends and they were telling me about the frustration with their production company who was supposed to be producing their new product. And they were way behind time. They were really frustrated with the whole thing. They'd been emailing the company for weeks to get some certain documentation, which meant they could just leave and go somewhere else to get everything moving. And there was a lot of frustration around that. So we sat and discussed this, and they were able to see how their frustration was keeping the situation right where it is. So we did a bit of exploring around it. Anyway, we all went to bed. Nobody thought too much about it. Well, the next morning, one of them comes in at breakfast and says, "You're not going to believe this." He said, "I've just got an email from the company with documentation they've been requiring and a step-by-step program on how to move forward with everything." So as you can imagine, there was a stunned silence. This is so powerful, people. So, so powerful. I've got another example. I run a workshop called Finding the Gorgeous in You, and it's based on my book, which you can find over on my website, elisicoaching.com. And this guy, I didn't often get guys coming to my workshops, but he was a client of mine and he came with his wife. And we did an exercise called lagging, which you can find on my YouTube channel, Elisi Coaching. And we went through this exercise, and I said at the end, "Does anybody want to share?" And I didn't expect him to get involved. I knew he'd do the work, but I didn't expect him to get involved. And he went, "Bloody oath, yeah." And he said he did it on his favourite aunt, who he hadn't spoken to for over 15 years, because he'd asked her to lend him some money and she said no. And he said, as he went through this exercise, he realized what a favor she had done him. And more to the point, how it had affected the way he was bringing up his kids. So, anyway, didn't think too much about it. I did a Bowen treatment on him the next day. And I said to him, "Have you thought about connecting with your aunt?" And he said, get this, he said, "She contacted me on Facebook yesterday." So the same day that he shifted his frequency, his energy around his thoughts, his mindset around how he perceived her, she was able to reach out to him. This is how powerful this is. Okay, it really is. So I encourage you to take that responsibility. And it's not taking the blame. It's just if you don't take responsibility, you don't have any control over anything because you've given that responsibility to somebody else. Now, when you do this, when you what I call cutting the energy net, and again, go check out the video on lagging. When we do this, we're setting ourselves free. Now, this may or may not set the other person or other people free. Bearing in mind, a caged bird often won't leave the cage, even if the door is left open, because it's safe where it is. So they may or may not change. The difference is that you won't be bothered by it. It seriously won't bother you because if it's bothering you, you're still on the same frequency. So there's more work to do on it. Just go back and do the exercise again and again and again for as often as it takes. Well, I hope that helps. Go have some fun with it. Check out my YouTube channel. There's other videos on there that will help with different things. Or reach out. Go to my website, elisicoaching.com. Reach out through there. You can download a free copy of my book, Finding the Gorgeous in You. You'll see it up there. And I look forward to speaking to you soon. Take care. Stay awesome.